beginning of the segment.
Yeah, don't watch this if you haven't watched this. It's like season. Oh no, he changed the color. We're locked in on the next season of Marvel. Would you consider yourself a burrito connoisseur?
I love burritos. I love burritos.
In the Rubio burrito story.
Oh man. Yeah.
If the content arises, we're gonna talk about the content.
Do it.
Yo, welcome back to the Kick. It's your boy Seth, your other boy Fred, and today we're back with a review because we saw the movie, right? We saw the movie Saturday, and yeah, it was Captain America: Brave New World. We just gotta jump into it. So today's show, we're gonna be doing, a couple of different things. We're gonna be reacting to that. We're gonna be reacting to a new trailer that just dropped, 5 days ago?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, new Star Wars trailer.
Yes, sir.
Which we're hyped for. And then just recently, as we're setting things up, we got some news about some sports stuff going on, huh?
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
If the content arises, we're gonna talk about the content.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so first things first, Brave New World. What were your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it, man. So I said that if it hit a 6,
That's right.
I thought that it needed to hit a 6 for me to consider it a success.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it in a 4 to 5 range. And I'll tell you the reasons why, but it didn't do it for me.
No,
it didn't do it for me. The performances, all of the performances. The only person who seemed to be having a good time was the new Falcon, Joaquin.
Oh yeah, homeboy.
Yeah. The story, the villains.
None of it. What?
I regret to inform you.
Oh my! And this is crazy because this isn't staged. We did not talk after the movie. We made sure we all right, you know what? We're gonna save this for the podcast.
Right.
That's crazy.
So yeah. I'm not disappointed. I'm oh man, I can't believe they let me down. Or just I didn't have super high expectations in the first place. So I guess I kind of protected myself.
No.
But yeah, it didn't get there for me. And there are reasons why. I'm not just hating. There are reasons why.
So did it give you any kind of nostalgia? Because it gave me a lot of nostalgia from the first. I mean, that was over 10 years ago. So it gave me a lot of nostalgia from the first Hulk. It gave me a lot of hope for future restart the Avengers. Hey, spoiler alert. We're locked into the next season. Oh no, he changed the color. We're locked in on the next season of Marvel. It's coming to fruition. Not only that, they reminded us beforehand, which they didn't do, but the trailers reminded us beforehand that there's going to be some new superhero movies that are coming out that are going to be,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Fantastic Four,
yeah, Thunderbolts.
We're setting up for a whole new range of Marvel. I feel like Marvel's back. When I watched it, I was
really?
First 5 minutes, I was Marvel's back, bro.
Really?
Immediately.
Why? What made you feel like Marvel is back?
One thing I didn't like, and maybe I just didn't catch it or whatever, but I really feel like they didn't do the whole Marvel scroll down normal credits of all the comics flipping, and I didn't see any of that. They just kind of jumped right into it. But it felt for me it felt like not closure, but it felt like a little bit of a continuation. It was a lot of continuation from that Edward Norton Hulk film. It was just, yeah. No, I was happy. You know, like the whole, like, and it was cool. Like the Falcon didn't do, he did a lot of he did a lot of flying kicks, but he also did some other stuff. You know,
I think I had him at 6.
He had 6.
Because we were sitting next to each other. And I was counting them. I think I had, because you guys said between 7 and 8, and I think it wound up with 6.
Yeah.
Flying kicks to the chest.
We took the under on that. If you
Not
took the
only
under on
that, but like it was they made fun of it during the movie. They was like, "Hey man, you got to show me your move," and then he put him on game at the end. I was like, okay, at least they had some fun with
they understand it.
Yeah.
That's all he does is a flying kick. But like there was some other stuff where he's like, you know, flying on top of a missile. Like he was doing some other stuff in the beginning too. Like where it's like, yo, like I think it was more. I think he showed more of his Captain America side than I've seen previously.
Okay,
you know, the shield boosting into people, using the shield more. Like he was throwing it around like Captain America. He's Captain America. That's
okay.
it. He's Captain America now.
So you were skeptical of that before, but now he's earned his Captain America.
It was Captain American Falcon, you know, like, but now he's Captain America with wings, bro. Like,
okay.
I was hoping that he was gonna take the serum and like fully complete the Captain America,
right.
Like I'll ditch the wings, you know. But nah, he's Captain America right now. He's locked in.
Okay.
If he ditches the wings, it'll be even more perfect. But
well, that's a positive sign.
Yeah,
because you went into the movie skeptical of him as Captain America,
1,000,000%, yeah.
And now you're like, no, he actually has earned his status as Captain America, and he did it without taking the serum.
Yeah, exactly.
Still has the wings got tore off of him.
I think he's gonna take the serum at some point, though.
We need to just put up a spoiler alert warning before.
Yeah, spoiler for everything.
Yeah, before we actually at the beginning of the segment.
Yeah, don't watch this if you haven't watched this.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So that's good. Let me tell you my impressions of it.
Go ahead.
So yeah, the continuation of the Incredible Hulk was good. Well, nice. It was something. The continuity was a positive, but you have this character, Thunderbolt Ross, who chased Bruce Banner literally around the world.
Whole life.
He's estranged from his daughter because of it. Last time we saw him was in Endgame, where he told... Right? Have we seen him since Endgame?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because remember, it was William Hurt who, R.I.P.
Yep.
So now it's Harrison Ford. But he told Rhodey, arrested them, and Rhodey was like, bet, and then just turned his screen off, and that's a court martial. That's the last time I remember seeing him. Maybe he was in like Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But so every time we've seen him, he's been an antagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
He outlawed the Avengers.
Just against it all.
Right? The Sokovia Accords, all that stuff. And now we get this little 5-minute introduction to him as a completely new person.
Yeah.
Now he's the president.
He's nice.
He's like, I've changed. I'm going to recruit Captain America, the new Captain America, to be on my side now.
Yeah.
And by the way, the most despicable part of my character is the fact that my daughter hates me. But we're just going to wash that away by saying I really want to reconcile with my daughter.
Yeah. I
want to walk around the apple blossoms with her. And now I'm supposed to feel something for this character who's been a jerk his entire existence in the MCU. And now they turn him from being an antagonist to being a sympathetic figure. Yeah. And they just hand wave the entire thing.
Yeah, it's true.
He didn't earn any of that redemption to me.
Nah, yeah.
Like, show me something that says, okay, he's actually changed, aside from the fact that he's trying to have a successful presidency, which, man, like, failed presidency.
Going good.
The worst presidency in history. Like, what did he make it, like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, then turn into the Hulk. Or the Red Hulk.
And you can't have Red Hulk as the president. Like, I get it. They got him Supermax.
They got him locked up.
Yeah. So I don't feel like they earned his redemption arc.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I don't think that the movie felt like they had the villain figured out.
Yeah.
Because you have the leader.
Yeah.
Right. And he's only in a few shots. He looks terrible.
Yeah, he looks weird.
I don't like the way that they made him look.
They could have done a better job with him.
And then you have the Giancarlo Esposito character running around trying to stab everybody.
Who's that guy?
The mercenary guy,
the
right?
mercenary dude.
So, and it's like, where did you come from and where are you going?
Yeah.
What's your purpose here? It just felt like they were like, we need another villain. So let's throw this guy in here and just have him do some stuff.
That's right.
So those are my first impressions of it.
That's right.
I have more after I really seriously thought about it.
No.
Something else that really bugs me about it. Do you have any, like, am I missing something on
reasons to not like it?
Either Ross, no, like I don't like what they did with Ross, and I don't like what they did with the leader.
Nah, I mean you hit those spot on. Yeah, it did kind of. I don't know though. I really think that was just like a push to, like, you know, move on. Like, all right, it's been some time. You know what I mean? Like that just felt like a hard push about, like, it's been a while since everything. You know, like we're getting past. Like Captain America's been Captain America for a minute. Like he has his own little team. He's doing this thing.
Right.
They've had, you know, that's been going on for a while. So much so that he has this guy he trusts to be Falcon. You know what I mean? Like, so, all right, there's been some time. I really think they tried to push very forcefully and very quickly. Like time has passed. You know what I mean? Like time has passed. We're arguing over this Eternals giant, you know, creature or whatever have you. Like
I did like
time
that.
has passed. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it is kind of rushed, that they could have either maybe added him into some show or whatever have you to kind of show that, you know what, like this is kind of going on. But yeah, they did kind of rush that part. And with the other guy, it was just a little more like, who is this mercenary dude? Like this dude's coming out of nowhere. Like, yeah, his character wasn't really developed, or
no,
it was kind of weak. He was
He was entirely like a one note character. He only had one thing to do.
He's gone. He's gone
be
the next.
evil, right? And he'll pop up at some point. So will the leader. Like they'll pop up in future.
The leader was
stuff.
bad, though. I will give you that. Leader was bad.
The idea of him was I like the idea of him.
Yeah, and
even kind of the way that he was setting things up. I like it. I just don't like the way that he looked.
It's just the character design. Yeah, he was cooked. Like, I don't know. I mean, but how else? Here's the thing that Marvel does surprise me on. I think, I'm just going to give it to Marvel, because Marvel surprises me on how heroes and villains look and how they adapt them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so I wasn't really against the whole, it did kind of seem weird, the whole Rhino suit with, you know, Spider-Man and stuff. Like, this guy's in a big mechanical Rhino suit. Like, how else are you going to make the Rhino? Like, you're not going to just make some giant guy. You know what I mean? I feel like only like people that look like monsters can kind of get away with that. Abomination, Hulk, The Thing, like they can get away with looking comic book ish, you know. But everybody else gets adapted to like a modern, no leotard, no tights, you know what I mean. Hawkeye looks more tactical, Black Widow tactical, you know. But I was interested to see how they were gonna do it with the leader, because he's like a monster figure, but he's in a human shaped form, you know. I just feel like they could have, they're not gonna give him a giant pin cone head, like, but I thought they could have done a little bit better.
They didn't quite nail it, right?
Nah, he just looks sick. Like, bro looks sick and disgusting.
Like you've been poisoned.
Bad. Yeah, exactly.
Like you get.
He didn't look smart.
He looked seasick.
Yeah, he looked like Davy Jones locker.
Right. Yeah, basically, you know,
Davy Jones himself.
So I just his design. But the idea of him I thought was cool. Like it laid the seeds for more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And so from a bigger Marvel perspective, I can see being excited about some of the stuff that it did. Like the pickup from the Eternals. It actually made me feel like the Eternals was consequential. Yeah. Because now we know what's gonna happen with the giant celestial in the middle of the sea. And, you know,
tying in adamantium.
Of course, I know you love that, right? So now we understand at the source of adamantium when we get, you know, into X-Men. There's a lot that it kind of builds on, or that it leaves to build on, but just the execution of the story itself. And here's the big thing. When's the last time you watched Winter Soldier?
It's been a minute. It has been a minute. We tried rewatching a couple of like the Marvel movies to get ready for it, but it has been a minute. Yeah,
bro. All right.
maybe not that long, but like a couple months.
Shout out to Jomi from the Ringerverse Midnight Boys. I heard him say this, but I was thinking this before I heard him say it. But he said that Brave New World is like if somebody tried to draw Winter Soldier from memory with their left hand. Now, I won't go that far, not with the left hand, but maybe somebody who tried to draw it from memory, but they're not a good drawer.
What?
Okay.
That's how it was?
Let me break it down for you. Okay.
All right.
The beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
You get this. It opens after the introduction of President Ross, right?
Yeah.
It opens with this fight. Captain America's in this big fight. You get to see all this new tech, all the stuff he can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's the same thing they did in Winter Soldier. He jumps off the helicopter, no parachute.
That's right.
Gets onto the ship, right? Fights all those guys. All right, yeah, Captain America, he's for real. Okay,
that's right. Yeah.
Right. From there, you get some conflict with the authority figure. Captain America is kind of beefing with Nick Fury, or Steve Rogers is beefing with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
In this one, he's kind of conflicted about whether he's going to trust President Ross again. Okay.
Yeah.
He's with his sidekick. He's with Joaquin. Right, Sam Wilson is with Joaquin in Winter Soldier. Steve Rogers is with Natasha.
That's crazy.
They have to uncover this government conspiracy that goes deeper than anybody expected it to. So they go off on their little side quest to figure it out.
That's right.
Same thing that they did here. Then they figure out, okay, what's President Ross doing? What's this guy, the leader? What does he have to do with it?
Yeah. And then go to a remote location and find some.
You go to a remote location, deal with some mercenaries, their government secrets, all that stuff. And then at the end, you have this big conflict.
That's right.
And this is where it kind of goes sideways, where it kind of peels off from Winter Soldier. But all of this, all the story beats are basically the same as Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And while I don't know whether they did that intentionally or not, but it's hard to believe that they didn't. What they lost is what actually made us care about Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like this character actually had conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't know who to trust. Oh, the other part. Somebody close to him that he trusts and cares about gets attacked. Nick Fury got attacked in Winter Soldier. Isaiah gets attacked or attacks the president.
Yeah.
And then gets locked away in this one. It's like there's so many parallels where it feels like, okay, they were just trying to copy it. Okay, Winter Soldier did this. What's our version of that?
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't really get the character motivations.
Nah.
So
that's true.
Just as I was thinking about it, I was like, man, like they tried to pull it off, but it just didn't hit home for me.
Yeah, they tried to repeat it. They tried to tug on the nostalgia string. Heavy, huh?
So it just aside from, and this is aside from setting up its ties into the larger MCU. Other than that, like nothing is really standing out to me as like, oh, this is why this is the story that's important in this movie that it needed to tell. It's just a bunch of action. The action looked good. The fight scenes were good.
Look pretty legit.
The fighting, like the action was good, and then you get to the final fight. What did you think about the Red Hulk fight?
Nah, the Red Hulk fight. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why you didn't like it.
I was expecting, okay, I don't know, maybe someone to come and help him. I was like, all right, maybe Bruce Banner is gonna pop up. You know, I don't know, and that was wishful thinking. So that was my least plausible thing that was gonna happen. I was like, all right, that's, I'll think about it, but it's most likely not gonna happen.
Maybe Bucky.
So Bucky was like in the middle, and then what I really thought was gonna happen was they didn't show his daughter all stinking movie, you know. So I thought, all right, he's gonna have this sun's getting real low, big fella, moment with his daughter. Like his daughter's gonna pull up to the cherry blossoms and be like, yo, like what, dad, then he would morph himself back into Han Solo. But I just didn't Han Solo. I didn't expect for them to, one, it did not look as good. Two, the part where he's kind of like trying to talk him down, hey, Bob, they have the camera angle where it was kind of looking down on him. You can like you're from Hulk's POV or whatever. Right. And he was like, yeah, this. It just looked cheesy. Like you can tell, like I don't know if they did it last minute or whatever have you.
Yeah.
But like the background, like just everything about that looked like, all right, they ran out of money pretty much. You know what I mean? Like it almost reminded me of like X-Men Apocalypse, where it was like there was one scene in there that was like the CGI was just straight boo-boo. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I don't remember much about X-Men Apocalypse.
Nah, yeah, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
But there was one scene where like the movie looked all right, but then at that scene it was like, all right, you can tell the quality just dropped off. So at that point it was like quality dropped.
Yeah.
It's just he's talking him down, and it just made it seem like, all right, they're pushing heavy and hard to try to make him. I feel like they're trying to force him to be the new Captain America more than we were trying to like accept him as the new Captain America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's gonna talk him, hey man, this isn't you, blah blah blah. You know, remember your daughter. And
right.
Like, hey,
he doesn't
bro,
even know his daughter.
Beat him up, knock him out, bro. Like, what are you
tried
talking
that.
about?
You know, that wasn't going so well.
Yeah, it's like, all right, bro. Like, you're gonna be the more sensible, talking. You know,
that's his background, right?
Exactly, but it almost makes it seem like that's his power.
Yeah.
Instead of having a super serum that makes you run faster, jump higher, fight harder than the normal human, your power is, hey man, I know it's tough, you know, like you just gotta calm down, bro. Like
that's our introduction to Sam Wilson, though, right? You go back. That was Winter Soldier. You go back to Winter Soldier. He's the counselor for for veterans, military veterans, and all that. So that's so if Steve Rogers. If what made him a good Captain America is like his integrity, his moral sense of right and wrong, he has to do what he feels is right.
Yeah. So
he takes the super serum and that gets amplified, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if Sam Wilson takes the super serum, then his powers of negotiation
get amplified.
Go through the roof. Right?
He's like, you don't want to do that,
right?
And the guy's like, hey, I don't want to be Hulk anymore, bro. Like, I'm not mad anymore, bro. I don't know, just more like super therapist. I feel like more Captain than Captain America. Like it was just like, hey man, like a coach, like someone's coach.
Oh, gotcha.
Someone's high school coach was like, yo, like, hey man, I've been there, I've been where you're at. You know, don't let the anger get a hold of you. Like I'm trying to prove it myself. You got to prove yourself too. Yeah, we're together in this. You know, like
that's tough because they have to differentiate him from Steve Rogers.
They do
in one way or another.
They do. But I don't know.
But I don't know if that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's fine. Like I don't mind his character. I think that he is a good. Anthony Mackie is a good. Like, I'm not sure that I like him as Captain America, but I think that his character is good. And as an actor, like we've seen Anthony Mackie as a good sidekick.
Yeah, exactly.
But like the charisma and the weightiness to actually be the main guy, as much as I like him, it just doesn't get there for me.
Yeah. I just think he needs, I don't know. I would have felt better if he just would have had his own character that just continued through. You know what I mean? Like if he just stayed the Falcon and the Falcon just took over. But honestly, like I said, I hope that here's what I'm expecting. Here's what I'm hoping. That like, you know, we had a story with Bucky. We had a story with Captain America where it's like, you know, he's old and now he's jumping into this new,
right.
Like, you know, their background. So I hope his conflict is taking that super serum or not. You know what I mean? And that's where, like, you know what, at some point, we're waiting for him, anticipating for him to be that strong guy. And at some point it's going to get too much for him where he's like, you know what, I'm going to pop this serum and I'm going to go off. Like, I feel like it's going to be that bad. Like when, you know, the extra beings start popping in, if they do add Galactus, if Silver Surfer starts popping up, all these intergalactic threats start pulling through. And he's like, yo, like, I can't just be a human anymore. Like,
you need more Avengers.
I need more super serum.
So that I feel like that's covered in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Like he's not gonna take it.
I don't think he's gonna take it.
Oh,
I don't think he's ever gonna take it.
He's gonna take it. Or else he's just gonna die.
Well,
that's.
I think his main conflict is being Captain America as a black man.
Yeah, that's what it felt like in this movie.
And they don't want to fully go there. So, And I don't blame him. Like that's
it kind of sort of went through there a
Well,
little bit with the old Captain America, right?
It's in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They kind of go through all that. The whole character of Isaiah is like a stand-in for that conflict, like what it's like to be a black man as Captain America. Well, not even as Captain America, but like in that kind of position.
Yeah.
And Sam is like, all right, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to please everybody. I'm just going to do this job. Yeah. And that's the other part about it, is that they've kind of just made Captain America a job.
Yeah,
it's just a government position.
It's a role.
Yeah. So somebody gets appointed as Captain America. It's the person with the shield, whatever. That's fine. Like, we're in like the Steve Rogers Captain America actually was like a superhero.
Yeah, exactly. He had the serum in him.
And it made him kind of, they're trying to replace him with someone that is like not, they don't check all the same boxes. Yeah. So, and it's on purpose. That's why I don't think that he's ever going to take the serum, because they want it to be more than just whoever takes the serum gets to be Captain America. He's
either popping the serum or he's dying. It's either one of the two. It has to be. He can't go up like Captain America went up against Thanos. You can't, you know what I mean? He wielded like he was going ham.
Right.
He was fighting him, holding him back. He's strong with the shield. Like, he had the strength to do it.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to bring in all these other characters now that are extremely strong. You're bringing in X-Men. You're bringing in Fantastic Four. You're bringing in, the Eternals, and, you're bringing in all these like intergalactic stuff. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you're locked in.
Yeah.
So the antagonists are going to be even more stronger, like, I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know if it's going to get to Galactus's point, or if it's just going to be them fighting Celestials. Celestials are going to send down Silver Surfer, and they're going to have to battle him. You got Doom coming up. Obviously not going to fight Doom, but like,
that's an Avengers movie, so he's going to be sidekick status.
How's he going to fight him? At some point, he's going to have to get cooked. he's going to have to get cooked, or he's going to have to take the juice, bro. Like,
the other characters will be handling.
He has to be at the forefront of. He's like the leader. He wants to restart the Avengers. Like, he needs to all right. He needs to lock in, because
they also kind of go ahead.
He can't be a leader and like, hey, you guys go do this. I'm hurt.
Steve Rogers was a leader.
Yes,
they haven't done anything to make Sam Wilson the leader of the Avengers.
Pop that serum, baby.
And Steve Rogers earned it.
That's true.
Like, he didn't really get into being, in my opinion, Captain America until the end of the first Avengers movie. He's torn in multiple different directions. First of all, like, he goes in the ice.
Yeah.
So he never really got to be introduced as this character that meant something to a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than, just World War II. He goes in the ice. He comes out. Nick Fury's shield is all in existence, and he's like, "What is this? This isn't my world. This isn't my time."
Yeah.
And for the beginning of the Avengers movie, he's like, "I don't fit in, and I don't like what you guys are doing."
Yeah.
Until he's actually with the other Avengers, and they're like, we have to defend New York, we have to defend the planet, and now he's like, okay, I'm the captain.
Yeah.
But he earned it, and everybody respected that role from him. So you can't just drop somebody else in that position and say you're the new leader of the Avengers because you have the shield.
Earn it. Yeah.
Whoever it is has to earn it, and I don't think it's going to be him.
So you think it's going to be a new leader of the Avengers?
I think it has to be.
Oh,
I think it has to be, like, because to your point, like, how do you lead the Avengers if you don't have a superpower?
That's true. So who's gonna be the new leader?
See, and this is the problem.
It's gonna be old Hulk, old Thor, Star-Lord, because he's back visiting his grandpa. He's on Earth now. Like, who's gonna Reed Richards, if he does get engulfed into that universe?
More spoilers. Okay, so you just mentioned it. I feel like they're in a different universe.
Oh, the Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, 1,000,000%. They're in some weird,
because it looks different.
Yeah.
I feel like
the whole vibe is different.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me that, I don't know, like that.
The Incredibles is what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That like 50s, but it's like advanced. There's a little show that used to be out.
It's like a futuristic golden age. Are you talking about the Jetsons?
There you go. Like a Jetsons, like, you know what I mean? It's like obviously it's old, but it's like
right.
What they thought was going to be the future or whatever. It's that for sure.
That's what I think is going on there.
Definitely Jetsons, definitely Incredibles.
So if they find a way to, I guess they have to find a way to reconcile that. But
they gotta find a way in.
If it's good, then I'm all about it.
Because someone else played Reed Richards in another one, didn't they? And one of those other multiverse.
Yeah, wasn't it Jim from The Office?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he played a different Reed Richards. And, so we know there's different Reed Richards.
That would have been Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah. Okay.
See,
I always saw that clip but I think they're in a different universe, and I think when the Thing, I don't know if they're gonna keep him looking like that. He looks very comic book ish, like the whole. I feel like the Thing. I like the Thing when it was that new cast of what's his name
with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, no, the one before that.
Oh, Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, so there you go.
The first two.
The first two Fantastic Four
movies.
That the Thing looked good in there. I think he looked really cool. He looked solid.
It looked like a comic book version in real life.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job with him.
So I like that thing, but yeah, they're definitely in another universe. I don't know how they're gonna come across, but we'll see.
So bigger Marvel discussion. Just kind of piggybacking on what we were talking about last week. Shout out to Willie. I appreciate all of his takes, and I get I get what he's saying. Like especially the big thing is like, and he's I had a separate conversation with him about sports because he's from Boston. Well, he's from Massachusetts, so he's Patriots fan, Red Sox fan, Celtics fan. Right?
No, he's a Celtics fan.
So one day, I'm a Colts fan, so I'm always going to talk. I don't have any standing to talk trash to Patriots fans. But I do, and he was like, "That's all right. Like we got ours." So from now on, like whatever happens, I'm good. I can just go back to what the Patriots have done. I can go back to what the Red Sox have done. Yeah,
he's very content,
and that's the same attitude he has about Marvel.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm okay. That's what's up. But the other thing that he said was, like, if he sees that it serves a grander purpose in the MCU, then it's like, okay, I get why this exists.
Yeah.
And I have the opposite approach. I want every Marvel project to stand on its own two legs.
Yeah.
Like, is there a reason for this separate from the Marvel universe? Is it telling a story that I care about? Is it developing these characters in a way that doesn't have to fold into all MCU everything? Because
exactly.
That's where I think the MCU is kind of folded under its own weight.
Yeah.
And like, you just take Quantumania, which I'm gonna talk about my tears in a minute, but I think Quantumania is probably the worst Marvel movie.
100%.
And
yeah.
And when I think about it, not only because of the way that it looks and the performances, and it seems completely inconsequential, because if the bomb hadn't done whatever she did that sucked them back into the quantum realm, then nothing would have mattered.
Exactly.
So it only exists to set up Cassie as a member of the new Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other reason for that movie to exist.
Nah.
Everything that it did with Kang, they could have done in Loki, and they did better in Loki.
What is such a good villain to like.
Everything with Scott and his family, like, okay, I get the family dynamic, but we got that at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that movie that really needs to exist within the MCU, except here's Cassie. She's going to have the ability to be Ant-Man's sidekick moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, to me, is like, okay, so we don't need this movie.
No.
Not, there's some fan service. You get MODOK.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked him. I didn't. I didn't like the way that he looked.
He could have done better with MODOK too.
So
yeah, two important villains that just like they wasted. Yeah. You're like, like those are like, I don't know. I feel like those aren't like, if you would have a top 10 list, I don't think they're gonna be on top 10. But I definitely think they're gonna be like up there in like strong, antagonists, like some that people would actually be like, oh snap, like how are they gonna, you know what I mean? I feel like they would have their own movie. I don't feel like Ultron. Oh no, Ultron would be a top 10. There's other ones that like MCU has kind of ruined as well. Like so far, I think they ruined those two. And honestly, I'm not to like sidetrack, but when it came to Homeboy, I can't think of his name. The Ten Rings.
Shang-Chi. Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Yeah. But I don't want to say Mandalorian. It's
you
know what I mean?
The
It's escaping my head.
The Mandarin.
There you go, the Mandarin. Like that was a crazy villain. Like, and they just like made him some movie actor. It was funny, but like, bro, like in the comics, he's like tearing people up. Like those 10 rings do stuff. You know, you might as well have the powers of like Thanos. Like it all means something different. So I don't know. I just feel like Marvel I feel like they kind of want to add in villains sometimes just because people about who the comic book, to satisfy the comic book nerd people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, then.
But by doing that, you let down the comic book nerd
Yeah, exactly. People. And then like, you don't really have anything MCU about it, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe about that, like movie wise.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'd say the same thing for another movie that I actually liked, but the weakest part of it was the kind of, we're setting up the new Avengers, and that's Wakanda Forever.
Oh man, that's right.
Like I like Wakanda Forever. Man, it had a tough job to do, and emotionally, I think it did it. You obviously disagree, but the weakest parts of Wakanda Forever are the parts with Ironheart. Who didn't need to be in that movie.
Yeah.
They put her in the movie to introduce her. Hey, this is going to be Ironheart. She's again going to be in the new Avengers. So get ready for her. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff with her.
Yeah.
Because Marvel has had all this success kind of teasing and Easter egging these new characters.
Yeah, exactly.
But they did it in a way that we actually cared about and that mattered, you know.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week. Like you just give us a little glimpse in an end credit scene or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But in these, like, it's a complete tonal shift from this movie where it's like the Wakandans are not only they're mourning T'Challa, but they're also trying to figure out how they're going to handle this new challenge that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And we go away from all of that emotional weight to a college campus with some comic relief for this character that we've never seen before and that doesn't really mean anything to us.
Yeah.
Just because we want to set her up for what's coming next in Marvel. I was like, if that's the whole purpose of a character or of a segment of a movie, then it's like this. You know, give me a reason for the movie to exist on its own. But the difference between Wakanda Forever and Quantumania is that Wakanda Forever, it stood on its own two legs.
It can, yeah. Namor. You have a bunch of other different things I think that set up the future. You know, they show like T'Challa's son.
Yeah,
it's like, oh snap!
But even that, they just did it at the end.
Yeah, it's like it just had at the end. I think they weren't really gonna go with her, like Shuri, as Black Panther for too long. So hopefully, I don't know how long has passed from Brave New World or whatever, but hopefully at this point, you know, they're setting up Cassie, or they're setting up all these different people. Hopefully, they have T'Challa's son much older to take on the mantle. I'm not saying I don't want to see a female Black Panther, but it's just like I'd rather it stay with the whole T'Challa line of, you know, like that's the guy going in and kicking butt. You know what I mean? That way they don't have to change too much. And then they can introduce a new Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like where it still makes sense. Like he's not taking over the mantle, but it's like, yo, that's homeboy's son. You know?
I give them a lot of leeway on that.
Yeah.
Because like nobody knew Chadwick Boseman was just gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and they had a lot to do just from a story perspective, from like paying respects perspective. Yeah. And that's why like
that whole movie was about that too.
There's a lot of ways to criticize Wakanda Forever. I think if without that, it's like, okay, why did they do this? Why did they do that? But knowing what they really had to accomplish, which was number one, do it in a way that's respectful to Chadwick Boseman and all of the people who worked with him and loved him and all that stuff, in a way where they were like, okay, we feel like this is honoring his memory.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the number one job of that movie.
Yeah.
And then now we have to do that and still serve the MCU in general.
It could have been tough. A really good sequel though if you would. Oh man,
it checked most of the boxes to me, and like I'm sitting there even now, like I'll watch it, it's like it's emotionally satisfying.
It is. I know it could have been so much better, and that's what just like man, you know what I mean? Like it's almost what I compare it to is like, you know, what's the last Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. It could have been like if Heath Ledger was still alive and he was playing that Joker role, that would have been a 10 times better movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having Bane and Joker and, you know, him coming in and picking on him pretty much for like, yo, you know, like, what are you gonna do about this? It's
Right.
funny to see you fight a new. I can foresee that would have been like, oh man, that would have been so great. Yeah. And I feel like Black Panther 2 would have been the same. Like if they just would have had him there, you know, like the antagonist probably would have been able to like let loose a little bit more, and they would have been fighting and duking it out, and it would have been like a real, like, I don't know. It just felt like it felt like fan service a little bit, but also like the story really didn't. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when it was Superman versus Batman, I think, where Superman just about to cook Batman, right? Or it was either vice versa. I can't remember.
The other way around.
It was the other way around. Yeah. Okay. So going comic book correct. When he was about to cook Superman, and he was like, Martha, like, yo,
the weakest.
Don't say that name.
The single weakest moment in comic book movie history.
Exactly.
Yes.
But Wakanda Forever gave me a little bit of that. I don't know, like, oh, we're both the same. We both struggle the same, and our people are the same, so we should stop fighting. It always gave me that, like, similar, like, bro, like, why don't you guys just come to a different, you know, like, instead of seeing your people suffer or whatever, like, bro, like, the people were underwater, you know what I mean? And Wakanda, they had vibranium. They were not, you know, suffering, like, they were prosperous. Like, so now you're seeing them, you're like, oh, they have kids too, and they have older people too. Like, and she's like, you know, coming along to like, oh, they're people. Oh, yeah, they're people. Like, that's gonna be your whole thing about, I'm not gonna cook these people anymore.
No, I'm with that, because to her, all she had seen was these people came up from out of the ocean to fight us for no reason at all. Now she goes down there and it's like, oh, this is not just a group of people down here that are just looking for a reason to fight and are mad at us. No, it's actually a living, thriving civilization, a society that they deserve the right to protect their own society as well. Yeah. And so I get it. It wasn't the tightest storytelling to me, but I get that. I respect that way more than Martha in Batman versus Superman.
That was so bad.
There's just no way where you've said this guy needs to go, but now he said a name that means something to me, so I'm going to stop. Literally, I'm going to stop killing him.
Name.
Come on, man. Knock it off.
What do you know about my mother's name?
Right. You're going to kill Martha.
Like, come on, bro.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
That one is bad.
All right. So, Captain America Brave New World. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The visuals of the final fight, they weren't great to me. No. But the fight itself looked good. Red Hulk looked good.
Red Hulk looked really good.
And even like the petals burning on his skin. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch, because like his
radiation.
Yeah, it's actual radiation is different from what Bruce Banner has.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, okay, that's a nice touch. Like I didn't mind the way that it looked, but this is what I was going to say earlier. You were like, no, I didn't like the fight because you saw the entire thing in the trailer.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's the climax of the movie.
Yeah,
and it's the entire trailer.
Yeah. So
you just really didn't have enough story other than we're going to show you Red Hulk.
Exactly. And then too, like, I really feel I get they're trying to set up adamantium as being stronger than vibranium, whatever.
Right.
And they really showed that because Homeboy cooked his whole suit. You know, like he just immediately just started breaking that thing down, ripped it off his wings, and like he couldn't use his little, you know, powers anymore or whatever, all the stored up energy. Which is like, all right, I guess that was vibranium and what it can do, until the very end where he like stabbed him, you know. But like, so they downplayed that metal pretty bad, and that's another thing that I was like, all right, you know what? It really showed Captain America is weak because he needed that gear. Yeah. Without that gear, he was dunzo. Like, you know, his gear was breaking down. If he would have broken down and had enough time to like just whop him real quick, like that's it. Like he's mopped. So and now he got Red Hulk out there just doing whatever he wants to until he finds his daughter.
Still the president.
Still the president. You know what I mean?
But what's the difference between Captain America relying on his gear and Iron Man relying on his gear.
Captain America only relied on his shield. Now that's the thing I think I like the most. It's like, all right, he had the ferociousness. Like he was able to like stand up there with Thor and like take his hammer and start, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and be able to take blows from Thanos hand to hand.
Right.
Even without his, yeah, exactly. I can do this all day. Like he was fighting them. Like it wasn't just his shield. His shield's a big plus, and his shield getting that vibranium, boost was a big plus. But
should they have had him say that to Red Hulk at the end?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I can do this all day.
Yeah.
Would that have made it better or worse?
I think we would have been sitting here talking about it, laughing about it. So
yeah, probably.
It would have been worse.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I need him see him take the serum. I think that's gonna be his storyline now from now on. Like, how can I live up? I don't know if I can live. And someone's just gonna tell him, like, bro, like this is more than you now. Take the serum, fight back, and like let's lock in, because there's other people that are stronger than us out there.
Well, I think that's the one scene that I did enjoy. The scene that I enjoyed the most in the movie. I don't want to hate on the whole movie, but the scene I enjoyed the most was him with Bucky.
Oh, when he came in? Yeah.
And so Bucky appears to be the person whose opinion he values the most. And Bucky's like, you don't need the serum.
Yeah.
But I think that whole thing has kind of played out in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But if I don't know. It would definitely open up some more possibilities. I just don't. I'm not counting on it.
What if he just gets injected with it and it's
against his will?
Against his will.
Hey, man.
Something's going to happen to him.
So, I didn't mean to ruin the movie for you.
No. Okay, here's my thoughts on the movie.
Okay,
I'm going to not convince you a little bit, but here's what I liked about it.
All right.
Because I'm still standing down like it's an 8. Not an 8, but I would give it like a 7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I liked it more than Eternals. The reason I liked Eternals was because I realized that they're bringing in something to usher in the new era of Marvel.
So you like the Eternals because it serves the greater Marvel machine. It
serves the greater,
not because it's good on its own.
It serves the greater comic book machine. And
okay.
I know we were talking to Wooly. He's like, I'm satisfied. Like I got the whole 10 years and I'm satisfied with what I'm not satisfied. I have not been to the mountaintop.
Oh, okay.
They got me to the mountaintop a little bit with Spider-Man. It was like, all right, it's cool finally seeing Spider-Man. But watching all these superhero movies from like, way back when, the first Hulk, you know what I mean? Daredevil, like all the way back then. And you're coming up to now. It's like, I've always wanted to. And finally, when I realized like, okay, that there's money involved, that's why you're not going to see, the mutants and X-Men with Hulk and Captain America. You know what I mean? There's money involved in why we're barely seeing, or you barely got Hulk because he's even from somewhere else,
Right.
And you barely got Sony to sign on and not give the rights yet, but they're giving, you can use this character of Spider-Man. So that was like a big, like, whoa, breakthrough. They've bought Fox, I don't know how many years ago.
Right.
And it's like, I need that. That's when I'm going to be like, all right, I've been to the mountaintop. When I see Wolverine fighting alongside Spider-Man or that's and Hulk, that's gonna be top tier. That's gonna finally feel like, all right, Marvel is like, it will be full circle. Like you made all these characters, you almost went bankrupt, so you had to sell the rights so you can stay alive,
right?
And now you get to use them again for a bigger audience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That is when I'll be like, all right, cool. Fantastic Four is here with them. The mutants are here with them. Because the whole creation of the Inhumans was because they had to sell off those rights. You know what I mean? Like, that's really when they started bringing the Inhumans and blah, blah, blah. So those are cool, but they're knockoffs. Like, it's not mutant. You know what I mean? It's not Rogue. It's not Cyclops, like Pyro. Like, those are like X-Men. Those guys have to come in at some point and really like not take over, but like be a part of the MCU. And when that happens, it looks like it's heading in that direction.
Yeah, it is.
Then I will feel like, all right,
you know what?
I can rest.
What's to Marvel's credit?
No.
Like outside of Incredible Hulk and maybe Captain America, the characters that they've had all this success with are like their B-team characters.
Isn't that crazy?
Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, like Black Widow. These are like they're not X-Men. They're not Spider-Man. They're not. Even Fantastic Four was bigger back in the day than.
Yep.
You know, like nobody was looking for an Iron Man movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they
had
made
all
him
this
focus. They made him like the biggest hero of the MCU
and paid it off.
Exactly.
So if they have so much like in the war chest now that they have X-Men,
yes,
and then they fold in Fantastic Four, and you know Sony's playing ball with Spider-Man, but they've kind of played around a little bit with this phase of the MCU. They tried to do the multiverse thing, and that was really difficult to pull off.
Yeah, and it got tired.
Yeah,
it got boring quick.
So it's but they also got a lot of satisfaction for a lot of people out of that, because then you get Spider-Man No Way Home, which a lot of people loved.
Yes.
For you, it was
Full
like
circle.
the fact that they were able to pull those 3 versions of Spider-Man together is all that you wanted.
Yes.
So yeah,
that's right up there with Endgame. That ties Endgame for me.
That's crazy.
That ties Endgame
That's
for me.
crazy.
You have to understand the full circle of watching. Like, when did the first Spider-Man come out? That's childhood right there. And then full circling all the way, watching 3 adaptations of Spider-Man so far.
2000, I think, was the first Spider-Man movie.
That's like, you
With
know what I
Tobey
mean?
Maguire?
Yeah. And that's like what, 10 years in advance to what Iron Man was?
2002.
So it was like, bro, that's
And Iron Man came out in 2008.
2008.
And there was
6 years.
no reason to expect either of those things to be tied
to
together.
ever be tied in.
Yeah.
You know, like no one ever saw, like, yeah. When they found out Spider-Man was in there, it's like, yo, like what? Like that needs to be brought on more. And Sony liked the money because it was like, oh snap, like we're getting money from this.
Yeah.
Like they like to see their character with, give that character up, bro.
Right.
Like, let them expand a little bit.
Yeah. And they just kind of teased them in.
Yeah.
Like they really knew what they were doing.
They're bringing more stuff in.
But they kind of have to change. I think they have to change their formula. Not necessarily change their formula, but really understand what made those movies work. And I don't think
Spider-Man movies,
just that phase of MCU when they were just everything was cooking.
Yeah.
And to me, it wasn't the interconnectedness of everything. They were actually giving us character motivations that mattered.
Yeah, exactly.
And like emotional payoffs to all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the way that they brought in Spider-Man in Civil War, you know, it meant something. And then you go to Homecoming, and by the end of Infinity War, everybody was like upset that he got dusted.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's only had one standalone movie, right? Yeah, exactly. That's like, of course they're gonna bring him back. Like everybody relax. I remember people, like the kids were crying.
Yeah, it's like no, Tom Holland feels so well. Boy, got cooked.
So, but really, they made us care about the characters. It wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna give you more. We're gonna give you more. No, they actually took their time and made us care about the characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. So anyway, so I'm giving it. I'm Captain America: Brave New World. I'm giving it a 4.
A 4.
I'm giving it a 4.
Hold on. Okay, let me just remind you of these things. We got introduced to adamantium. We continued on with the Celestial story, and now we know that's what's affecting now Earth in the MCU, right? That's their antagonist. That's their, like, you know, back in, like, you know, Avengers, it was like there's people out there that are stronger than us, and SHIELD needs to take these weapons because we have if that's where we're at now, right? We got Eternals, something they haven't seen before,
a suit of armor around the world, right?
Exactly. Okay. Right. Boom. That's 2 things. You kind of, to a more or lesser degree, closed the Incredible Hulk sequel / story, so to speak, with, you know, you finally got to see Luthor do what he did and the Red Hulk, and you kind of got a little bit of satisfaction. There was no this one, it did seem a little bit different, but you got a little closure, right? Okay. From Incredible Hulk. That's 3rd. And then now we're restarting the Avengers. It's finally like, okay, this is actually going to happen.
Okay.
That's 4th. And you're still going to leave it at a 4 out of 10.
You gave me 4 points.
Those are good points.
You gave me 4 points.
Yes.
None of them had anything to do with Captain America.
Oh, okay. I see. As a standalone.
The movie's Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah.
And you gave me 4 reasons that I should feel better about it, and none of them had anything to do with him.
They shouted out the original. They gave a big shout out. I mean, it was like he was half the movie of the original Captain America. That I thought that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? The OG Captain America. They brought it back like, hey, this is the original super soldier right here. Paid him some respects. He's his homie. He's getting mentored by him. That means, for me at least, all right, hey, he means a little. Sam Wilson means a little more to me now, because like you got trained by not only Steve Rogers, but you also got trained by the original super soldier, which is like, hey, bro, remember who that guy was? He was the original. He was black. Like this guy was like tall, you know, he was huge.
He looked like a Captain America.
He looked exactly like bro was ready to do some damage. So it's like, all right.
And then they put him in prison for the whole movie.
It's crazy.
Right.
But he didn't have a white savior this time.
That's the other thing that
he didn't have a white savior.
No white savior,
Yeah.
But the thing that they kind of toyed with me. It's like, you're really gonna kill this black man.
You gonna cook him?
Right, like in front of everybody. They had him surrounded, getting ready to shoot him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, nah.
Yeah. And I was like, come on, don't do this.
But like, he's safe. He's safe.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even bump it up to a 5.
He's an afterthought even to you. You gave me 4 reasons, and then was like, oh yeah, by the way.
Nah. Well, because he was part of the whole movie, so it wasn't really like, but it was a nice nod to original comic book Marvel knowledge.
As a movie, all right, I can put on Iron Man and just watch it, and I don't have to care about anything else. Like Iron Man has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We find out what his entire motivation is, what he wants to do, all that, what drives his character.
Yeah,
to close the loop, right? I can put on
any of the Spider-Man,
Winter Soldier, and do the same thing.
Yeah, Civil War,
Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now you get into Civil War, now you're kind of weaving all those movies in together. Okay,
oh
that's fine.
Yeah.
But you know, Marvel was doing something else at that point. But I don't, without thinking about the greater Marvel machine, I don't think that this movie, to me, it doesn't justify its own existence. So yeah, I have it at a 4, man. I have it at a 4
out of 10.
4 out of 10.
As a movie.
What
about as a build up? Did it give you enough build up where you're like, all right, I'm excited for the next chapter of Marvel?
It does.
All right.
It makes me feel better about the Eternals.
Okay.
It makes me feel like we have something to look forward to with Joaquin. Like, he actually seemed like he was having a good time. And I think that in the hands of, like, if they actually take the storytelling a little bit more seriously, you can, because the leader, and I can't remember Giancarlo Esposito's character name, but
Russell,
you can put those two as villains moving forward in other ways and kind of pay them off a little bit more, or any kind of role that you want to put them in. So like there's stuff to work with. Yeah. So I get it. It's not terrible. It's just it was 2 hours of a Captain America commercial. That's kind of what it seemed like to me.
Everything in the commercial was everything shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So where do you have it? Out of 10. Well, you said
7.
7.
I got man, now you're making me rethink. 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was really good, but it continued that Celestial were fighting over different stuff. It gave me a sense of what Earth is like for them and what they're thinking about, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I wish I would have saw more, but it was the only reason I think it was more of a Captain America movie is because you only saw Bucky, and that was it. That's the only superhero who appeared, and he didn't do anything superhero-ish. Didn't do anything superhero-ish. It's like, all right, they're letting him do his own thing. I would have been more surprised and more happy to see other people, but the adamantium shout out was enough for me to be like, okay. Yeah, like Fox, like they've already been like hitting and like teasing with Fox characters, you know, ever since like WandaVision. I think WandaVision was like the first time they teased about the Fox character, which is like her brother, and it was like, hey, you're not my Quicksilver. Like, my homeboy died. Like, you're a whole different one. That's and like they've been teasing it this whole entire way through. So or even in Deadpool, I think he mentioned like the Avengers at some point or something like that. I remember reading like as an Easter egg, like he wanted to be an Avenger. Like they're teasing back and forth these, you know what I mean? But as soon as it comes to fruition where they're actually seen on the same movie with each other, then I'll be excited.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, let me just ask you this real quick.
6.5 out of 10.
Let's just call it a 7. Let's call it a 7. It's fine. Like Stanley a 7. All right. Did you think that it was better than the Eternals?
Better than the Eternals.
I got several of these for you.
Oh no. Yeah. It
was better than the Eternals. Was it better than Shang-Chi?
Oh, 100%.
Was it better than
Shang-Chi was so bad to me.
Was it better than Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
The first one, not Marvel.
The first one. No, I haven't seen the Marvels. Neither of you. Yeah. Was it better than Captain Marvel?
Yes. Yeah.
Captain Marvel ends with her being like, "Where's Nick Fury?"
Yeah.
Right. So you thought it was better than Captain Marvel?
She just asked, "Where's Nick Fury?" Like but the whole movie was just about
But I mean, if you're giving
people,
you're giving this one so much credit for being tied into the greater MCU universe, and that one is like that shows you Nick Fury's beginning. It shows you something that has to do with the Tesseract.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Maybe
the little pager payoff. I just wanted to ask. Like,
I'll give that one an 8. I'll give that one step above.
Okay, all right. What
Brave New World.
Ant-Man?
No way. Ant-Man was way better.
All right, so crazy. I think that so you kind of have it. I have 5 tiers, and I have Ant-Man in my tier 2. I have Captain Marvel in my tier 3.
What's your tier go off of? Like, what's the highest? Is like A to F or like?
No, not like
1 to 5.
I just put them in tiers because like you can do a bunch of different grades on everything, but it's like these movies kind of belong together in quality and importance. To me. And it's obviously Infinity War, Endgame, Iron Man, Black Panther, those are all up there.
Where's Guardians 3?
I left Guardians 3 off of my tiers.
What?
because I saw it once.
And that was enough. You weren't gonna watch it again?
I didn't love it. Like I didn't like the way that it looked.
What?
It looked cheesy. The visuals, the characters were really turned up. The villain was really turned up.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we're gonna show you these animals being tortured, and we know everybody loves animals, and like I don't know.
So messed up.
Just I'm not sure how I feel about Guardians 3. 1 and 2 are in my second tier. I love both of those movies. I like Guardians 2 more than most people do.
Yeah.
So I feel I have Ragnarok in my second tier, right? Civil War is in my second tier. And then third is like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Wakanda Forever, Ultron, Iron Man 2 and 3, like I have all those there, and then 4 is where Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Thor Dark World, Thor Love and Thunder. And I think that's where I put Captain America Brave New World.
Right over there.
In my 4th tier. Not terrible, but not highly rewatchable.
Oh, no.
And I'll revisit it, in a year. We'll see if that's where I really feel like it belongs. But right now, that's where I'm putting it.
I mean... That's not a bad tier list, but I really think Guardians 3 is really good. It's a nice send off.
You have that one like at the top?
I wouldn't put it in my top. It might just barely make the top 10.
Okay.
Top 10 Marvel movies. Yeah.
We'll have to do more on like our.
Yeah, I actually have to make a tier list. That's a good. Yeah. I might make a tier list.
So. Yeah, I've been thinking about this over the past, few days. But yeah. All right, and then tier 5, why did they make this? Is Quantumania by itself. Like, come on, man. Like it's the worst of the Marvel machine to me. But anyway.
It's bad.
All right. Any last words for you on Captain America Brave New World?
Go see it. If you watch this much and you haven't seen it, well, we just exposed the whole movie for you.
Yeah,
but I think Marvel's back. I think it's a nice, slow stepping stone. You know what it is to me? It's like when people have those driveways that are too high, you know, and they have to add that little lip right there just to kind of make things easier to get into. Like the driveway is set pretty high for what these movies I anticipate them to be, you know. And this was like a nice little, you know, just trying to get you over the hump and into that driveway. Something nice, something to ease you in. Yeah, I think Marvel's back. I think I'm ready to. I'm not satisfied. I'm ready to see more. I'm ready to see the Fox universe into the Marvel universe. I'm ready for it all. So, and I think this is a good start to it, to kind of lock everything in. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have that. Glad you enjoyed it.
That's where I'm blocking a minute.
But I'll say this, just last thing. Like, we sat right next to each other in the theater. I didn't feel like you were having that great of a time.
What? I told you like 5 minutes in, I was like, yo, we back. I was like,
5 minutes in don't count. Like, other than that,
back.
You were locked in. Like,
I was locked in the story.
Yeah, you were locked in. My daughter, on the other hand, she was like, it was boring.
Yeah, she fell
asleep on it. She falls asleep on movies though. Like, you really got to have her attention. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I hope that now, if this kind of kicks off, like you're saying, a really good movie. New phase.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I'll give it some credit.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I feel like Eternals bumped up in my list because of this movie.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
Feel the same way.
It got like more like, it's like, all right, well, I actually I wouldn't mind revisiting and watching it and kind of like, you know what I mean? Just because I feel like it got more of a push. Like, oh, that's right. This dude was in the middle of the ocean that just spawned from the middle of the earth and was about to cook the whole planet, and they stopped it.
I was worried that they were just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
like we were never gonna come back to that. Like, you know, there's giant things in the middle of the ocean, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the way that they tied that in, I actually thought that's a good sign. I think
one of those Eternals is gonna be part of the Avengers too. I don't know which one it's gonna be. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully we find out who it's gonna be. That's gonna be part of it. We gonna see.
All right, take us out.
We gonna see. Well, that's our review of A Brave New World. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you guys will leave some comments on what you guys think. Yeah, it's interesting. Everybody has different opinions about it, but we are in high anticipation of what happens next. I think we can both agree. We're in high anticipation on what's next for Marvel. This looks like a nice segue into that phase, and so yeah, that's a review.
Here we go. So here we go. New trailer just dropped. We're gonna react to it. This is Andor season 2. All right. So you finally watched Andor season 1, right?
Oh my word. Andor is such a good show, man. Dude. Andor is crazy.
It's the best thing on Disney Plus.
Oh snap. As in like shows?
You know,
like
best show. Whoa. It's the best show on Disney Plus.
Above Mandalorian. What?
Yeah. Look, man, have you seen Mando season 3?
Yeah. Oh boy. That's right.
First 2 seasons of Mando, amazing. Amazing.
Mando season 3 wasn't as bad as Boba Fett though.
No,
wasn't as bad as Boba Fett.
And to be honest, like I enjoyed Mando season 3, but it just wasn't as good as the first 2.
Nah.
There were a couple rough spots, some choices that they made in like some of the episodes.
Yeah,
but it was fine, just not as good as the first 2. Anyway, so Andor, the trailer dropped. I have not watched it.
Same. I have not touched it. The only reason I know about it is because you told me about it, and I was like, "That's crazy." And it dropped 5 days ago.
Yesterday is when I told you about it.
Yeah, exactly. See? It's like, yo.
Right. So we're gonna check out the trailer, give some reactions, our expectations for the new season, which is about a month away.
Whole month away.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm locked in already.
We're in a war. You want to fight? Or you want to win? Last night I dreamed that the world had turned around. All our hopes had come to be. The revolution starts now.
What a swell party this is.
Remember this moment. You're here. You're right here, and you're ready to
Oh
fight.
snap! He's actually part of it. Nah, that's crazy. Yo, nah. Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nah, that's actually wild.
Man.
Yo.
So April 22nd, by the way, I thought it was like the beginning of April. It's basically the end of April.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that we gotta wait
I know it's gonna take
almost
forever.
2 months.
This right here, I think, for me, is
Just the shot of Saw,
yo, like,
right?
he's gonna be locked in. This is, yeah, man. I am kind of lost for words, low key. You know what? What really also like got me was the helmetless stormtroopers. That's another thing I wasn't expecting.
You know what?
So-
Until you just said that, I didn't realize that they were stormtroopers. I didn't know what they were. Yeah,
But it looks like they're like low key like breaking in, or maybe this is not storm. It's like a little tactical team. Like this is really gonna show
yeah.
like the rebel spies, and you know what I mean. Like
They remind me of the crew on
the Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. That's
Yeah,
what that
yeah,
reminds me
yeah.
of right there.
Yeah.
Which it's obviously it's not Bad Batch, but that's what it looks like.
That's crazy.
Man,
That's a lot to unpack, right?
it just reminds, like, just watching the trailer. All right, well, here, let me start here.
Yeah.
What I don't like about it is the music,
Nah,
because that's not the music that's gonna be in, like, that music's not gonna be in the movie.
nah,
They just-
exactly.
The sound's not ready yet. It probably
Yeah.
is what it is. So it just kind of took me out of it a little bit. But the rest of it, I'm just seeing all these characters that were so important in season 1
Yeah,
and important in Rogue One, and that are going to be important in, you know, moving into basically New Hope, which is where this season is going to end. Well, that's where this season is going to end, taking us into Rogue One, and then Rogue One takes us into New Hope. But yeah, man,
I guarantee you that song has something to do about rebelling or something. If I look it up, it isn't. It sounds like familiar, but I for fear of the comments going crazy, I'm not gonna say what I think it is.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's like a rebel theme ish like song. It kind of gives me that feel of like, I don't know, like early rock.
Okay. It's called The Revolution Starts Now.
Who's it by?
You nailed that one.
Yeah.
Steve Earle.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's a song that we've heard before, but
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have recognized it. Yeah.
Well, that's setting up season 2.
So what did you think about the trailer in general?
I'm speechless. I think the visuals look crazy.
Yes.
The visuals look insane, and we're seeing some returning characters from Rogue One,
Right.
which is like, yo, like I can't remember the droid's name, but droid's there. Saul Guerrera, like, nah, they I don't know. I'm in high anticipation, and I just, one thing I really hope it's not is that it's not a short. How do I want to put it? Like low episode season.
12 episodes.
See, like
That's the same as season 1.
as long as it's not like less. As long as it's like 8, 6.
No, it's
You know what I
it's
mean?
going to be 12 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready for it then. That 12 seems good. 12 seems like, man, I need more, but it's not too much either. So,
And unlike like some of the Mando seasons or episodes are like 25 minutes, you know.
yeah,
They might not have been that short, but some of them felt kind of short.
yeah,
These were all like 40-minute episodes or
hour
more.
long episode. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Eesh.
And I don't want to look too much because I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but yeah, it's 12 episodes, and it's kind of putting together like an 8-hour movie
Yeah, exactly.
is what I feel like, because that's basically the way that season 1 went.
Yeah.
So, but like real like high quality filmmaking.
Man,
You
the
know.
visuals it looks like a movie.
Yeah.
Like they took their time on this one because they knew. Look at that scene right there. Like,
Yeah.
like come on,
Yeah.
like how are you? The visuals are gonna be crazy
And
in this one.
reminds me
X-Wings.
That reminds me of the opening of Rogue One, where they're looking for what's her name, for her dad.
Oh yeah.
That's, I don't know if that's where it's supposed to be, but
almost
yeah,
like,
that's when he shows up. So maybe it is.
it's almost like Andor has its own like aesthetic almost now. Like,
It does.
yeah, it's crazy.
Tony Gilroy, the guy who I think he was the writer for the Bourne movies,
Oh, okay.
is the showrunner for Andor.
Ooh,
So, like, yeah, he's serious.
the truth right there.
So based on what you know about Andor season 1, what we just saw in the trailer, what kind of quality, what kind of expectations do you have for Andor season 2?
Oh, man, I don't want to set the bar too high. But yeah, I'm excited. I definitely want to see some characters that we're kind of familiar with. You know what I mean? Like, spoiler alert. Mandalorian brought in like Luke. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yo, like kind of popped in there real quick, handled his business. You didn't really see him like too much, but you kind of knew what it was. And man, I just had an epiphany. And I don't know. I don't want to set the bar too high for it. I want to see some reoccurring characters. I don't want fan service. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't want fan service. They have to play a role if they're going to be there. But I mean, this is the start of the rebellion. Like I want to see maybe appearance from, of course, an appearance from Vader at some point, right? We have to see an appearance from Vader at some point.
Okay.
I want to see maybe an appearance from Ahsoka, because her show just did really well. Maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe they reach out to him, but it's like, yo, this dude's living in the desert. Like, can he help us start this rebellion or whatever have you? And also, young Luke and young Leia would be pretty sick to see. Young Luke and young Leia, like seeing Leia on that planet, before it got, destroyed.
Yeah, because I guess this is taking place at the same time as the Obi-Wan season is taking place.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are time jumps in this in Andor.
Yeah.
But somewhere in that span is Obi-Wan and young Leia. So they're out there.
They're out there, and I hope to see them a part of Andor, because that'd be really cool. Maybe show some young Luke, or who knows. But yeah, definitely some Obi-Wan Kenobi, because Like he can't just be doing nothing the entire time. You know what I mean? That's what we thought about previously, is just Boba just rotten.
Right.
You know, like I want to see him kind of like looking out for Luke from afar, like taking care of Anakin's son. Like he knows Anakin's daughter is going to be taken care of. I want to see him taking care of Anakin's son. Maybe Anakin's son gets mad or whatever at his uncle, whatever, takes off.
Well, he's on
Some
Tatooine.
Tusken Raiders. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're there together.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
like,
yeah.
you know, from afar, like danger that Luke doesn't really know he's in, but Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of defends him from that. There's stories about that happening. So I want to kind of see a little bit of that. I don't know how Andor would tie into that. You know what I mean? But if Andor's looking for help starting rebellion, the last Jedi known is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it would be nice if they would go to him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, and I guess
Yoda's still
Yoda
there.
too. Yeah, I guess Yoda's. But they already kind of did the whole Yoda. I don't really know if they're gonna go touch on Yoda or Chewbacca or maybe show some young Han Solo or something.
Yeah, this would be the same time frame as Solo also.
Yeah, but I mean, Ben Kenobi is, I think, one of the ones that they would show.
But here's one of the things about Andor season 1.
No,
there are no Jedi. Even Rogue One,
they don't show any.
Like you have these people who believe in the Force and who are Force sensitive, but there's no Jedi.
Yep.
They're starting this rebellion independent of the Jedi.
Oh my word.
What?
Hold on. I gotta look him up. I totally. Oh my word. There's a character, Cal Kestis. There we go. I want to see Cal Kestis. And so, have you ever seen like any like playthroughs of like Survivor or
no?
So this is right after everything starts going down, and he like low key is like the Jedi to start it. Like he's low key the Jedi to start like coming back pretty much. Like he's working in this like mining field or whatever have you, if I remember correctly, and they're like taking apart kind of like what Rey was doing a little bit. Like they're taking apart old like Star Destroyers and you know all this Empire stuff. And I don't remember the timeline of where Cal Kestis kind of comes into play, but there's definitely Empire, there's definitely Sith that are there, and it doesn't really seem like there's any Jedi. So I don't know where he kind of comes into play, but if he makes some kind of appearance, that'd be crazy.
So I guess Starkiller is in this time range also.
That's right, dude. Starkiller would be there.
Huh.
That'd be crazy.
I feel like part of what they're trying to do or what they want to do is have this part of the story separate from all the Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
Which to me,
like no lightsabers at all, huh?
Yeah, like no lightsabers, no like you'll have I think we will have some Force sensitive characters in this season. I do expect that, but not like Jedi, no lightsabers. And the reason why I think that is because they did so well in season 1 with no Force. It's true. Just like we're gonna start this rebellion against the Empire. There's just normal people throughout the galaxy rising up against the Empire, and
blasters.
Kind of some of what people appreciated about The Last Jedi, which I didn't think was necessary in The Last Jedi. I don't think it did well for it, but like, hey, there's other Jedi out there and there's other people in the universe other than the Skywalkers and all that stuff, which like that didn't do anything for me, but whatever.
Yes.
But in Andor, like it's like what it shows is the effect that the Empire is having on normal people throughout the galaxy and how they're fed up with it. Yeah. And it just feels like that's where Andor season 1 is going to continue to live.
Yeah, like
where season 2 is going to continue.
An actual rebellion, because the Jedi really didn't do anything. You know what I mean? They had a part in it, and they definitely helped like secure I guess you would call the rebellion, to bring it to fruition and to stop everything at the tail end of it, with Luke.
But the rebels had a whole organization.
They were locked in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just kind of joined up with them.
Yeah. Like Luke came in and did some stuff, which was important, but it was this whole rebellion that existed, Mon Mothma, and who's one of my favorite characters in Andor.
So crazy.
Man, so at the end of this, a lot of these characters that we've been introduced to in Andor, like, they're going to be off the map.
That's
so
true.
we see that in Rogue One.
That's true.
So some of them will still be there, but like Saw is gone. Andor himself is gone. I'm assuming all his whole crew.
That's I think that's really like a cool, I don't know. It's not too often that you watch something and you're just like, all right, like this is a prequel, but they have like their time is like coming low key,
right.
and it's not gonna last up until that long. But it's crazy that they're still able to. These characters are technically gone, but you're going back and you're like watching what they did to get to that point.
Yeah,
and that's like, that's crazy.
Especially with Andor, because like you watch Rogue One and he's like, by the end of it, he's a character that you care about.
Yeah, exactly.
But for most of that movie, he's just like, he's a mercenary. He's an assassin.
Raw.
Just a spy out here operating in the shadows.
Yep.
Doing stuff for the rebellion that nobody ever wants to talk about or acknowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, for real. Like literally getting his hands dirty. It's the very first time we see him. Like he's smoking two people out in the back of an alley.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's getting ready to take down what's her name's dad. What is her name? Anyway, he's going to he got sent there to kill her dad.
Let's say something with an S.
And it's only as it kind of evolves that he becomes like a sympathetic figure, somebody that you actually care about.
Yeah. So
it's doing a real good job, like you said, kind of filling that gap in. Like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why should we care about him?
Yeah. Nah, he definitely was hunting down Jyn Erso's dad for a good minute.
Thank you. Yes. Jyn.
And only just because I looked that up right now.
But and Galen Erso is her dad, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready, and I really hope they put Cal Kestis in there too. Above all else, I think that'll probably be my favorite. What do you want to call it? What do they call it when you have like an appearance? Not an Easter egg, but
cameo.
Cameo, exactly. I'll be my favorite cameo right there.
Okay,
because those games are both extremely well made. And they have a person who looks like him. Like when they're doing like the whole video game or whatever, they have, they have those scenes where like they kind of all have a bunch of dots on them to motion track or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And the dude looks exactly like the character in the game.
So they modeled him after the actor.
Exactly, yeah. So if they have an actor come in, like it's gonna be that dude.
Okay.
And which I think is really cool. So yeah. Hopefully that plays into it.
Man, okay. So do you wanna rate the trailer? Like 1 out of 10, what do you give it?
Ooh, I'll give it the music, I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. Solid 9 out of 10.
Wait.
If it had more Star Warsy music, it would have been like a 10 out of 10 right there.
All right, got you. I was just gonna ask. Like, all right, so
some trumpets, the Star Wars.
The other thing about it is that like they're kind of gassing up season 1 with all the little, this was critically acclaimed and all that. Like I know it was critically. I've been waiting on this for 3 years. You don't have to tell me how good it is.
Yeah.
I'm watching the trailer for it. Like you don't have to sell me on Andor season 2.
Wow, it was good the first season,
right? It's the best thing that Disney has done with Star Wars, in my opinion.
Oh yes, since they've taken over.
Yeah.
Besides Rogue One.
I mean, I have it right up there with Rogue One.
Yeah. And Mandalorian.
Maybe I might have it above Rogue One because it's more. It's 12 episodes.
Man.
So, like Wooly was saying last week, like you hold the TV series up to a higher standard because they can do more with it.
Oh, yeah.
This this is the justification for its stance. It's like, this is what you can do when you have all these episodes of a TV show.
It's true.
They really they cooked with this. So, yeah. Season 2, so you rated the trailer 9. I'm going to give the trailer an 8. Because they showed us a lot. Again, we didn't get a lot of dialogue.
Yeah,
the music is a mismatch for me.
Yeah,
although I get what they're doing. Like, all right, fine, but it's not the music from the show.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a good teaser though.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm ready. And it was a little longer than I thought it was going to be. I don't know. It felt longer than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it was. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I wish it would start coming out tomorrow, to be honest. Yeah.
That block did.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. The
Yes,
return
sir.
of the return of the Star Wars show series.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. That thing is gonna be good.
Alrighty.
All right. As we were getting ready to come on today, all of a sudden phones start going off. Big NFL trade.
Right? We're like, what is it now?
Right.
Trades have been crazy lately. So
For real.
yeah.
And they seem to happen on Saturdays too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the Luka
What's
trade
going
was a
on?
Saturday night. What's that about?
Yo.
So Deebo going
Crazy.
to the Commanders. Deebo Samuel traded from the Niners to the Washington Commanders
That's wild.
for a 5th round pick. That's
That's all
it.
you think he's worth?
Well, I mean, did he play last year? Like kind of barely, right?
Yeah.
But that's your boy. Like you're a Deebo head, right?
Deebo Gate.
Yeah, we all know about Deebo Gate.
Hey, listen. Deebo Samuel. I don't know if he has it in him still. I think it's gonna be good for Daniels to work with a veteran wide receiver. You know, someone who's been, you know, I would consider he's been a top 10 at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been a top 10 receiver at some point in his
Been
career.
to 2 Super Bowls.
Exactly, right? He has good stats for him to be locked in, and I think if he doesn't bring game, I think he definitely brings experience to the Commanders, which we've seen last season. Like, this dude is a rookie, but he's got an arm.
Yeah.
He ain't afraid to throw it.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to throw those Hail Mary passes. You know, it's like, I feel like that's the direction that they're might be heading in. You know, when Curry came and changed the game and was like, all right, like it's gonna be predominantly 3-point shooting from this point forward.
Right.
Like that's something that's desirable to people to see. Like people want to go to and see, oh, my 3-pointer, he's shooting from even further, 40, you know,
right.
Like that kind of. I feel
so you
like,
think people want to see the Hail Mary?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of, you know, the direction that it might be going in.
Everybody was talking about it.
Right?
That Hail Mary was crazy.
And then Joe Burrow's done it too, which is like they have a good chance of going for it on 4th down. And that brings excitement because usually we're just used to seeing them kick the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And here you got him just like going for it, like, all right, you know, whatever, boom, boom, boom. Like on these games that are like, all right, they're not like Super Bowl games, but he's still like playing it like every game is a Super Bowl game.
Yeah, you got like the Eagles.
Right.
Basically, they're like, nah, if it's 4th and short, we're going for it. The Lions, we're going for it on 4th down like crazy and having success.
Exactly.
And I think what it really
not
is
scared of throwing the ball.
Yeah, if you have a good quarterback, you might as well. Once you get to 4th and a certain distance.
Yep. Trust him to do his job.
Yeah, you're. I've been feeling that way for a long time, and I feel like the league is going there pretty strong right now.
Definitely. And Daniels is definitely someone to push that.
But this is what you do, man. When you have a young quarterback and they're on that rookie contract, so you're not paying them a lot, and they hit, like Jaden Daniels apparently has hit. Like, this dude is good.
He's good.
You might as well just like build around him, give him as much as you can.
Yeah, he's franchise.
Yeah,
don't let him go. Keep him. He's a franchise quarterback.
You definitely keep him.
You keep him, and you give him weapons. You know what I mean? You build his O-line. You know, like their defense is pretty solid, and he has already 2 very good receivers.
Yeah.
So I feel like Deebo's not. He might come in to do some crazy catches, but he's mainly coming in to like give experience to people.
He's at his best. He's like that kind of gadget player anyway. Like he'll get handoffs and the end arounds and all that type of stuff. He's not just a prototypical line up, run routes and catch the ball kind of guy.
Nah.
He's getting older. He's had some injuries, but he can still be a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-threat.
Assuming that he's healthy, he can still be a weapon. And then, like you said, kind of the intangibles. Plus, he wanted out of the Niners. He's kind of been wanting out because like they did a new contract for him a little while ago, but before that he was kind of getting noisy. And the Niners, they can't pay everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they had this core where like we're getting to the Super Bowl. They have a quarterback on a rookie contract, but now it's time for him to get paid, so they had to make some moves anyway.
They paid a lot for McCaffrey.
Yeah, McCaffrey. They paid.
That's a big weapon right there.
They paid Brandon Ayuk. They have the highest paid offensive lineman in the league.
Yeah,
they have a bunch of money on their defense, and Dre Greenlaw. So when they were in the Super Bowl the year before last,
that's right.
The linebacker that got hurt at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
He's a free agent now, Dre Greenlaw. So they want to keep him. I think that's what this is about. Because the Purdy contract, they've been planning on that the whole time. They're going to work around whatever they have to do to keep Purdy.
Cap space.
But I think this helps them to keep Dre Greenlaw. And you know they have other good players. Like they have a bunch of good players on their team.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Deebo to the Commanders is, I think it has the potential to be really good for the Commanders.
Oh, definitely.
I like that. I like that they're doing whatever they can to support, like to maximize their young quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're making him as efficient as possible, and they're like, "Look, bruh, like you're here.
Yeah,
like we had no season before you, really. Like you know, like who do they have before him? Like
we don't even need to.
we don't even need to go back that far.
Yeah, we don't even need to say the names.
But this season, that past season, he was doing work. You know, He was handling business, and he got him pretty as far as a rookie quarterback could have gotten him.
They got to the playoffs.
Yeah, they were locked in.
Did they win a playoff game?
I want to say they did, but I'm not 100%.
They won
sure
2 playoff games. That's right. It was
crazy.
them and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
That's right.
Yeah, they won 2 playoff games. So he got a lot of experience himself. I like that they're like, we got our guy. Let's just give him all that we can.
Yep.
Try to maximize him.
Yeah.
They have him for cheap for at least 2 more seasons. So, yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. That's another crazy thing too. Like, bro is not getting paid that much. What's his contract at? He's a new quarterback. He's not
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Like it's on a scale, so it's set by the league.
You're a rookie. You get paid so little.
I mean, well, you know,
compared to like the Prescotts and
of course, of course, yeah.
He's not getting paid that much,
but he'll make it back.
No,
all the guys once they get, you don't even have to really have done anything.
Nah,
like Jordan Love started for 1 season. He had a pretty good year.
Yeah, and
now he's the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
Crazy, bro.
So
got his bank.
Yeah, all for 1 season.
Hopefully this is what happens with homeboy here, bro.
Yeah, if he has 2 more good years, even 2 more decent years, he's gonna get paid. Brock Purdy is about to get paid. Brock Purdy's gonna be a top 10 paid player.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah,
and 1,000,000%.
And everybody's still like, I don't know if Brock Purdy's really that good.
Nah, bro.
He's about to get paid though.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he's getting his money.
Yeah, man. So where are you taking Deebo in the draft? Because we know he's gonna be your, we know he's gonna be on your team in fantasy.
I don't know. I'm kind of iffy to take Deebo. I don't think he's going to come in and be WR1. Like,
the rule is you have to draft him because you can't trade for him in our league.
I can't ever get him.
We won't ever allow you to trade for Deebo in our league.
I'll draft him at 12 then. Throw you guys off, yo. I might just draft him first pick.
If you were doing an auction draft, $200 budget, how much would you spend on Deebo?
What's the fab on Deebo?
Yeah.
$200 budget. I'll break out $5 for him.
5?
Yeah, I'll break out $5.
Oh, so you really are not on him like that then?
Nah.
You're just saying this. I'm not falling for the okie doke.
What do you think I'm breaking off? 20? 20 for Deebo?
I don't know what you're breaking off, but you're trying to act like you don't want Deebo. At some point in the season, you're gonna make a play for Deebo on your roster.
$15.
That's more like it. Okay. Yeah. And then the combine is going on right now, so everybody's kind of excited for football. I love like NFL. I'm all about it. Yeah. I just have not thought about. I've been on this other stuff lately.
You're right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be on lately.
It's NBA. We got other content coming out. So.
Got movies coming out.
Right. So
shows coming out.
Man, they're locked and loaded. I guess this is like all their COVID backlog.
Yeah,
the writer strike backlog.
2025 is locked in.
I think so.
I think 4 to 5 years to make a movie, right? Might be some backlog from COVID times.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I mean, we're in a dynasty league anyway, so
Are we?
we have to send out that message. Actually,
Are you thinking about a different league?
No, that has to be our league.
Okay.
I don't know why you guys don't want me to be a dynasty player for 1 year.
How would that help you?
We'll go back and look at my roster right now. There's at least one person there that I know is at least going to be number one next year.
Man, yeah. So Deebo
a million %. I have a banger sitting on my line right now.
We need to look at it. Yeah, I'm down, but I don't want to do like full dynasty. But yeah, I'm down. I'm down to have some keepers. Put it that way.
I hope if we don't do dynasty, I hope I get a high pick. That's gonna be another segment. Once that starts up again.
Yeah, for sure.
A million %.
July, August. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I need a high pick because we gonna see what's up with that. Deebo though.
Little taste of NFL stuff. Deebo to the Commanders. He's piecing out from the Niners. That's interesting.
Keeping the red and gold though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Same color scheme.
Same color scheme.
Same color scheme. I wonder if he told his agent, like, make sure I go to a team that has the same colors. I don't want to replace all my wardrobe.
Everything I have.
I'll move across the country, but I don't want to replace my wardrobe.
Are they letting homeboy keep his number? He's going to 1? Was he always 1 or what?
Yeah, he was number 1. No, he's not taking the quarterback's number.
Oh, that's
the quarterback
right.
wears 5.
Oh,
Jaden
okay,
Daniels wears
okay.
5. Yeah.
He's keeping his 1.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So.
Well, 49er fans are sad today.
I don't think they're too worried about it.
You don't think they're gonna miss him?
They miss good Deebo.
I see what you mean.
So
Deebo wasn't good Deebo 2 years ago.
Last good year Deebo had was 2021.
Oh, Deebo Gate.
Actually, yeah, 2021. Wow. We're going into 2025. Yeah, 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 14 total touchdowns in 2021. 2022, he had 600 yards receiving. 2023, he had 900 yards receiving. 2024, he had 700 yards receiving. There we go. There's that.
There it is. That's Deebo trade.
First of many dominoes to fall, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, nobody's like.
All right. You got a life hack?
Ooh, yes, I do.
All right.
And this one's actually legit. So I dumped my first one I was gonna use. It could be added in there. Right? I was gonna say something about putting your chocolate in freezer or whatever, make it cold. But nah, this one's legit. And this one is gonna be a little embarrassing, but it is what it is.
Uh-oh.
There are certain things that
earmuffs
you just don't think about when you get married, right? So I got married, or even before that. Actually, scratch that. Before that, moving out on your own, you just don't think about certain things that you're gonna need.
There we go. Okay.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. And one of those things was a chip clip. So you open a bag of chips, you eat. And before when I first moved in, I was like, bro, I can do whatever I want now. I was eating cookies. I was eating chips. I was like, hey, I can finish this bag right now. Who's going to come and tell me that that's not good to finish a bag of chips? Nobody.
Right.
It's my domain. But then at a certain point, I was like, nah, man, like I'm halfway through this bag of chips and I pull out my hand and it has the dust. And I'm like,
you feel like a slob.
Yeah, exactly. Let me roll this up, right?
Let me be responsible.
And then I roll it up. I roll them up nice, and I go place it somewhere. But sometimes it unravels. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't roll up tight enough. Your hands are too chip greasy. And then you get stale chips. And I don't think there's anything worse. There's probably, that will be up there on my top 10 peeve list probably.
Stale chips?
Stale chips. Okay. It's just like, that's like going and pouring a bowl of cereal and then you open your fridge and there's no milk. You know what I'm saying? Or you open and you're like, all right, let me get the jelly real quick, and there's no peanut butter. Like, like those are things that are just like.
Yeah, because you can't tell that they're stale. They're in a bag.
Exactly.
Until you
sit down with your favorite show on, you're like,
right.
Yo, what is this? So, life hack. This one's real. If you don't know where to find it. And then too, why do they make chip clips so hard to find? Like every time I'm at a super like market or whatever, you know,
Right.
Walmart, like where's a chip clip aisle? Like there's no chip clip aisle.
They should be with the chips.
Like, but you go look there and sometimes they're not there.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta buy the paper clips for them, the folder clips.
Right.
Like, so if you don't have access to that, right, and you're just lost, and because you don't, I moved out, I didn't think to get a chip clip. Throw them in the freezer, throw them in the fridge, throw them in the freezer. They won't go stale. You pull them right out. They're gonna be cold, all right? They're gonna be cold, but on hot days, hey, cold chips ain't that bad.
So your life hack is not to get a chip clip.
No,
Your life hack is if you don't have a chip clip.
you don't have a chip clip, you open a bag of chips, you're like, I'm not finishing this, and I want it tomorrow. Tortilla chips, you want it with your salsa, regular, you know, Doritos, nacho cheese, whatever it is. Throw them things, the hot
Wow.
Cheetos, throw them in the fridge, throw them in the freezer. They're not gonna get stale. They're just gonna get cold. Tomorrow you can pop them out and you're set.
Wow. I was not expecting. Okay.
I had to think about it for a minute. When I thought about that one, I was like, all right, we're in business.
All right. There we go. Okay. All right. I got one for you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of a two-parter. I was going to say everybody loves Chipotle, but I know a couple people who don't.
What?
Yeah. I limit my interaction with them because they're strange.
It's a whole nother segment right there.
Yeah. Everybody who's anybody loves Chipotle.
Exactly. People who matter.
Right. So you go to Chipotle and you want a burrito.
Okay.
Okay. If you're a burrito person, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna go get a burrito.
Okay.
Well, do this instead.
Okay.
Go ahead and get yourself a bowl, right? Get yourself a bowl, and then get a tortilla on the side. Make your own burrito because you get more food that way. It's like, well, I don't need more food, Art. You know, serving sizes are too big in America anyway. That's why everybody's obese. Look, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay. Your Chipotle bowl comes with a foil tin that keeps your food fresh. So make yourself a modest sized burrito and put the rest in the fridge and come back and make yourself another burrito later. Okay. That way you get 2 burritos
Out of
for the price of 1. Not only that, okay, here's the second part of this. If you ever go to Chipotle and you're like, you know what, I feel like I want double meat.
yeah.
Don't tell them that you want double meat until they've given you the first scoop of meat. They give you the first scoop of meat and you're like, you
Okay.
know what, I would like double. Now they have to actually match that first scoop of meat because that's what double means. If you tell them double up front, they might give you, you know, 2 medium-sized scoops of meat.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's like, you know, you saw me do it twice. That's double. Nah,
yeah.
I want double because you charging me double. You charging me the price for double. So, yeah. Make your own burrito. Just get a tortilla on the side. Get 2. Make your own burrito. And if you want double meat, make sure you wait until they give you that first scoop of meat before you ask for it. That's my life hack.
Oh my God.
Chipotle themed life hack for today.
The only reason it's hard not to yo is because would you consider yourself a burrito connoisseur?
I love burritos. I love burritos.
In the Rubio burrito story.
Oh man.
And just hearing how you're talking about these burritos now. And that's a crazy good life hack. That's 2 for 1 right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And this Chipotle over here in the area, they do be stacking those bowls.
Oh yeah.
Like just blah blah blah. It's
They
like,
treat you
yo,
good.
when you say you want everything, they'll put everything on there.
Yeah.
And more than modest amount.
Yeah, even there was some news going around a while back that they were kind of being stingy with some servings in certain Chipotles.
Nah.
I haven't had
Where?
that experience. Matter of fact, if I go get a bowl and I want guac, I usually tell them like half scoop of guac. It's like they load it down with guac. It's like that's too much.
Exactly.
Same sour cream. And for me, it's more than I want. So I have them moderated unless I'm like, this is gonna be my food all day. Go ahead and yeah.
That's
Go ahead and
wild.
cramp it all in there.
Yeah, he's like everything.
Yeah, everything. All right, those are our life hacks.
That's the life hacks right there.
There we go. That's it. Reactions to Captain America: Brave New World. Reactions to Andor season 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Reactions to the Deebo trade. Yeah.
Packed on this one.
Yes, sir. That's it for the pod. Appreciate y'all being here with us.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna say smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and drop a comment below if you enjoyed it. This has been The Kick
With Seth and Fred.
Catch y'all next time.
Boy.
I don't know what the finger guns were. Hey, yo. That's not be real. Smash that subscribe button.
Do me a favor. Obliterate that subscribe button. So stupid.
Yo, I want you to find the tallest building you can. And I want you to jump off that thing and just
Yeah. Crater that subscribe button. Don't forget to like. Boy.